Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host. You know me, unless this is your first episode, in which, welcome, I'm Scott Askin, and I'm here with another song from Uriah Heep off of the Outsider album. We are on song number 7, Looking at You. You know, it's funny. I did a jam with this band when I really wasn't much of a keyboard player at the time, but they're like, no, we really need you on keyboards. I'm like, no, you don't. And we had this song we were doing. It was a country song called Another You. And our cheeky guitar player, when he wrote out the order of the songs that we were going to practice, he wrote it as Another You, E-W-E. So whenever I see a song like Looking at You or something like that, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is like Looking at You, E-W-E. That would be a whole different song. Maybe something if Uriah Heep had ever wanted to do like Sounds from the Barnyard, that would have been a workable thing. But that's not what this song is about. That's just where my crazy mind goes sometimes when I see things like that. Anyway, this is another song from the album that we've been covering. It's been a very heavy album, but there has been some really good surprises on this album, and I've really been enjoying it so far. I hate that we're past the halfway point already because I've just been enjoying it so much. But let's get right into this one. Here it is by Uriah Heep, Looking at You. Well, this is some great energy we're starting off with right off the bat. You know, you just kind of want to get out of your chair and go do something, you know. For me, it's going to be putting a load of laundry in after I'm done with this podcast. But, you know, it just kind of want to makes you get up and do something physical. This is a great tempo for a rock song. You know, it's good to have something upbeat, especially after you've come off of maybe something that's a little slower or a little more emotional. You know, you got to just like, okay, we've had our outburst. Let's get back into rock and roll again. So it's a really good location, I think, on the album for this song as well. But isn't it amazing how just that difference in, you know, where the picking gets a little bit more muted, how that just suddenly opens up everything and you can hear everything else with a better clarity. I mean, some of these things that are so subtle can make the biggest difference in a song. And that's why I've been saying over all these seasons, this little thing in the mix makes a big difference. When this person plays this way, it makes a big difference. And, you know, this is just a very obvious example of that. But I love it. I love how it's just like heavy and full, and then it's open, and then it's heavy and full again. A really cool riff. And it's just, you know, it's just got a great feel to it.
Take a look at yourself. You're a little bit wild. You might sing of freedom, but you never smile. You say your sights on a dream, no shadow of a doubt. You're a lady of power, and you kick me out. I'm only looking at you. I know what's true. The scars your words have put upon me brought me into.
So where I was saying it was a little more open in that opening riff where the muted picking was, you know, here we've got Bernie filling in those spots now. And so that really kind of gives him that space to have the vocals cut through a little bit more. But I like the verse. I think it's cool. But man, this chorus is so powerful. I love the double bass on it. I love the layers of vocals on it. It's just got such an uplifting feel to it, doesn't it? It just kind of makes me feel like I just did spring cleaning in the house, and now it's like a wonderful place to live after being shut in all winter time. You know, I kind of just feel free and ready to take on something. And again, guys, the power of music is so amazing.
It's a state of mind as you lose control. If you change your tune, then you can change your soul. I wonder why you lied said, are the stories I heard from the lies you spread. I'm only looking at you. I know what's true. The scars your words have put upon me brought me into.
I really feel like this song could be in a movie somewhere, even if just in the end credits or in the opening credits, just somewhere. I don't know, probably the opening credits, something to set the tone for the movie, I think would be cool. But yeah, this is a great song. Really digging what I'm hearing and thinking about the verse too. This is one of those songs, we haven't had one in a while, but this is one of those songs that I talked about that's kind of like Jimi Hendrix's Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire or Deep Purple's Speed King, which was inspired by Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire. You've got the riff and then a vocal and then the riff and then the vocal. The riff just really is like the glue that holds the lines together, but they back off when the singer comes in to really let the emotion and the lyrics come through. And it's really cool. And then just going into that really powerful chorus with the layers of vocals just sounds beautiful. And another thing too that I find interesting is when Davey goes to play higher notes on the bass, I don't feel like the bottom end is missing anything. When he plays the bottom end, or when any of these bass players have played the bottom end, like it sounds right and everything, but when they go up into a higher register, a lot of times it should throw off the dynamics of the song because there's nothing filling that low end up anymore all of a sudden. But yet, for some reason, I just kind of feel like I'm not missing anything. And I like the dynamic of higher bass notes here and there. I don't know, maybe Phil's doing something on the organ that I'm not picking out that fills in that space. I'm not sure. The organ certainly is very strong and powerful in this song, but I'm not consciously hearing like a lower organ tones that would fill in that low end space. It's really mysterious to me. Well, beautiful vocal, obviously. But I like what the music is doing here, too. I like the little break in between, slightly kind of progressive, in between the ahs there. Really cool. The song has got a really good flow and progression to it overall. That was just a killer organ solo from Phil, nice and powerful. Love the way that Hammond sounds on this album, just really full and driving. You could feel those Leslie speakers spinning. It just a really powerful sound. But what he's playing there's a lot going on. But much like Mick's solos, and this is why I think they work so well together, is he also understands what's pushing the line to be a part of the song as a solo, and when is it like, yeah, this really doesn't even fit the song anymore. They both get it, and I think it's a fantastic solo. I love the tones in here, very powerful, and there's so much that you can do with a Hammond sound-wise for dynamics that make a solo interesting, and he's really got it dialed in here for sure.
Yourself, you're gonna come undone with the truth wide open. You're gonna feel the run. I'm only looking at you. I know what's true. The scars your words have put upon me brought me into.
Listen to what Phil's playing through this, because he is working his ass off here. There's so much going on the organ behind this chorus, which is really, really cool. I really like what he's doing there. The whole band is just driving hard and really killing it in this song. And with 20 seconds to go, they said, let's throw another part in there. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's the thing about this band. I mean, I've said so many times over the last year and a half, like, you just never know what's coming next with these guys. I honestly thought they were going to do the thing where, they cut the chorus vocal down in half and then Mick fills in the rest of it. And that looks like where it started to go. And then they changed the part again, which was really cool. That was a nice surprise. Great ending, nice and solid. I like that they're ending songs sometimes, instead of letting them fade out. I tend to really I feel cheated on fade outs because, if the song's going well, especially if there's solo playing, I want to know what happened. With the song ending, I have that finality. I know that's the end of the song. I don't have to wonder how long the party went on without me. So that's really cool. Plus, it just makes it easier to do shows live. You don't have to come up with endings or try and remember, oh, yeah, what was the thing we did on this one? It's just part of the song. So you learn the song with that ending. But yeah, good song, great energy. I feel really good right now. Very positive message, just uplifting. Feel like I should go grow some flowers or something. It's, I feel good here. So that's our show today. Looking at You. Beautiful vocal on this one. I love the layers, just some great guitar and keyboards, bass, drums. I mean, it's just another great Heep song. What can I say? Well, I guess that's my job on this podcast, isn't it? To think of things to say. But yeah, it's another one that's a winner for me. Absolutely. This would be one I think I would put on that list of songs to start your day. If you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to work, or just like, I got to do laundry today. I got to do the dishes. I got to do this and that. And you're just not looking. You don't want to get out of bed, but you have to, you have to because shit needs to get done. So what do? You put on a song like this to motivate you. If you think back to the show, if you watched it, Ally McBeal starring Callista Flockhart, that show kind of had that same idea, right? Like whenever she was in a funk, she would just put on some music and she would start dancing around and then she would get into her zone. And sometimes she would do it in her apartment and that was fine. And then sometimes she would do it out on the street and sometimes people would look at her like she was weird, but other people would jump in and go, you know what? I don't know what this chick is doing, but I feel that groove and they start dancing or moving around with it too. Next thing you know, everybody's energized. They're starting off their workday great. That probably doesn't happen so often in real life, but I think that this would be a great day starting song, just something to get you out of bed and get you motivated and get you going. So mark that on your list. That's a good one for sure. You guys have a fantastic day. We will see you on Thursday for another episode of the Uriah Heep Magicians podcast with another song. This one is going to be Can't Take That Away. Cheers. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magicians podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show, and thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!